Hello, welcome to Get Your Mind On. I'm Lori Stose. Well, gosh, my dishwasher broke this week, and then my air conditioner broke, and it was leaking water, and then I was in a car accident. Why does everything always happen to me? And today, as I was visiting with a client, he was very concerned about his life now. His life was all in an uproar. He's going through divorce. He lost his job. And of course, that affects lots of things. It affects his salary. It affects his lifestyle. It affects his kids. And there's so much going on. So why do we have adversity? What does adversity do for us? We have lots of disappointments that go on and lots of difficulties in our lives. And I don't think I've ever met anyone who hasn't had any. But what's the difference between how we deal with these difficulties? And really, what's the purpose of adversity? Well, when we think about adversity, there's lots of different reasons that it happens. But there's some things we have to think about. If you think about last week, we talked about learning. And the great part about it is when we go through adversity, what does it do? It makes us stronger. It makes us stop and learn and grow from the experience that we had. Although sometimes we really don't like that experience, it does happen. And if we can take from it and learn from it, it's very beneficial. The second thing is when we go through adversity and we go through disappointment and experience, we have a new perspective. We've been through some things. We have a different perspective, a different way of looking at things. So we may ask ourselves, what's the purpose of adversity? There's no benefit from it. Well, if we think about last week, we talked about learning. And when we go through different challenges in our lives and different disappointments, hopefully we take that opportunity to learn and grow. One of my lines is, if you don't grow, you die. And it's really those experiences that we're given and how we handle them that helps us to grow. The second thing is when we go through different types of challenges that may come our way, we get a new perspective that helps us see things maybe in a different way that we hadn't been able to see it before. And it also gives us a perspective of that we can go through things that might be challenging. Third, as we go through this and we gain more learning and growing, we gain confidence. We gain confidence that we can go through things. When things come our way, we're able to say, hey, I've been through something before, so guess what? I can go through it again. And finally, the fourth thing is when we think about different types of adversity, it's sometimes when we have the highs, we don't think about how good things are. And we maybe don't take for granted the things in our life that go so well. And we really think of when you have the lows, you kind of appreciate those highs a little bit more. Even though that's always not that fun, it's really about that mindset that when we have those lows, it really helps us appreciate those great moments that are happening every day for us that sometimes we overlook. So now let's look at the word adversity. First, let's think about the A. A is accept. Accept what comes your way. You know, through life, we're going to have our ups and downs and our challenges. So think about, how can I accept what comes my way? The second word is D. Decide. Decide how you're going to respond to this situation. You know, many times it's all about our attitude and our mindset. When something comes your way, it's really thinking about what is the perspective. Is it going to ruin your life, or can you take something away and learn from it? V. Vulnerable. Many times vulnerability is very difficult for some of us because we don't really want people to see when we have those opportunities to show when we're really not at our best, or when we're really frustrated and disgusted with certain things. But it's okay. It's okay to be vulnerable. Just know your audience and know who you're comfortable being vulnerable with. Those people will be happy to help you. But many of us keep that mask on or keep that guard up and say, no, it's okay, when really we're inside, we're really, really hurting. So show that vulnerability. E is expect. Expect that things are going to come your way, and know that when they're coming your way, that you're going to be prepared to handle them. R. R is about remember. Remember that there's a reason for everything. Sometimes we don't like to think about that, but everything happens for a reason. And when that comes our way, just remember that there's going to be something good out of every situation. Sometimes not at the moment, but in the future, when you look back, there'll be some great learning. When we think about S, S is about seeking. Seek individuals who can help you. You don't need to deal with all these issues if they come along your way by yourself. Seek help because lots of people want to help and they're able to maybe give you a different perspective to help you think it through. I. Invest. Invest in different ways of learning, maybe different ways. Take some time to invest in time to learn, time to have discussions with people, invest in yourself to take time to think about how could I handle this and not always worry about having to jump in right away versus taking time to yourself to really learn what that means. T is about trust. Trust yourself. Many of us sometimes, when we're losing this confidence because of this adversity that comes our way, let's think about trusting ourselves. Is that many of us have been through a number of things and it's all worked out. And so sometimes we just don't trust that we can handle it, and many times we can. And finally, Y is for yearn. Yearn to know, yearn to be ready to grow for other times that come up along our way that we're really thinking about different areas that may come our way. Just yearn for learning, yearn for knowing that there's a reason, yearn for just knowing that you can handle it and move forward. So although when we think about adversity and these words, it's not always the funnest thing for us to deal with, but we have it. And so instead of taking time, many of us just take so much time and energy worrying and fretting about something when it comes our way, which really doesn't help us at the end of the day. So I want you to really think about it this week for positive charge. When you have something that comes your way, just stop, take a breath, go back to your words, and think about, okay, which word can I gravitate to today to help me think about how to handle this? So hopefully it can give you a little bit different perspective. And secondly, for your positive charges, if you have someone else who's going through some challenges, help them get a perspective and maybe give them a little bit of advice on what they can do to help them go through different times of challenges that they may have. In closing, adversity is going to be part of our life, and those difficulties that come our way, it's really neat to watch as you can grow over a period of time, just watching how when things come your way, how you handle them. You may handle them more peacefully, more patiently, and with more confidence. So thanks for joining us today, and remember to get your mind on.